Welcome to my workshop. You are watching Casual DIY channel. In recent times I have been testing this really cool portable laser from Longer, the Nano Pro. And I've done plenty of tests on it on different types of materials, so if you want to actually have a look what this little bad boy can do, I've got a full video dedicated to that. And there's a link to it down below in the description of this video. However, today I want to actually talk about the accessories you can get for this machine. Well, you can get the rotary attachment and the slide extension as well. With the rotary attachment, well, you can engrave materials like tumblers, any round objects that your projects may require. And the slide extension will allow you to increase the size of your projects from 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters, as it is in the original machine, to 10 centimeters by 30 centimeters. First of all, I'm going to put the rotary tool together and we'll give it a spin. Okay, the rotary tool it is. First of all, we need the rotary head and the base itself. To attach both, we're going to need 6 screws that are M5 by 10. And you can't go really wrong over here. It just fits in one place. Slide it over just like so. And add on the screws. And put it on the side if it's easier for you. Same thing on the other side. Next, it's time to attach the tailstock to the base itself. For that, you're going to need 4 screws M5 by 15. For the next step, we're going to need 2 M415 bolts like these and 2 M4 star knobs. Put the screw through the base of the tailstock and add the star knob on top. And now we can slide in the tailstock onto the base itself, where the heads of those bolts need to go in those T-tracks. And now you can tighten them up. To make sure the tailstock itself is more stable, you do get this foam pad that you can put underneath it as well. Now in the whole set you actually do get a few accessories for the jaws itself, so more or less you are covered in every scenario depending on what you want to attach to this and what you want to engrave. For example, you get these stud components, okay, that you can just install, screw onto your jaws just like so. This is a very good solution if, for example, you got a mug or something that you're gonna hold it from the inside. Then what you do, you spread apart the jaw and it will hold it like so. In the set you also get double step jaws and single step jaws. In the next step we actually need to amend our main machine just a little bit. In the set you do get this L-shaped bracket, this razor bracket, okay? On here we're going to install the module with our laser, and that will attach to the position where the module is right now. On top of it, over here on this L-shaped bracket, you do have some screws. So for example, if the alignment of the laser module is not straight, and you can test that out with the spirit level that actually comes in the whole set, you then need to adjust those screws to make sure everything aligns correctly and the laser module is level. So let's get this sorted. First of all, I'm just going to remove the protective cover as it is in the way at the moment, and the star knob just underneath there. We can undo that and we can attach our razor bracket. And finally, we can add the module itself. And again, if for example the laser head is not level, you see it's sloping one way or the other, you do have those screws from underneath that I showed you. Use a key and change the position of them, use the spirit level and just check if everything is level. Now the last thing to do is to connect the yellow wire to the yellow slot, and then that goes to our rotary attachment. That's just at the back over here. There we go. For the initial tests and setup, I'm going to be using this cardboard piece. I don't have many round objects, so I'm fairly limited with that. Now let's install this onto our jaws. I'm just going to spread the jaws apart, so they're going to hold our workpiece. And now what we need to do is just to have that support bar touching our workpiece. You do have a knob at the top, so you need to spin it until it touches our workpiece. Use the level spirit that we've got with our set to make sure everything's nice and level. Now before we're actually going to jump into the software, what we need to do is establish the focal point, i.e. the distance from our material to the lens itself. I'm going to be using the feature that's built into this machine. You've got an infrared laser just over here, so click on that. Okay, and now on our material you can see two dots from the infrared laser, and now we need to lower the module itself until both of the dots come together in one spot. And there you go, now they have met together in one spot. That means the focal point is set up for this machine. Alright then, so we are in LightBurn. As you can see, I've got everything set up. However, what are the things that you need to change to be able to use the Rotary tool? If you already set up the devices, i.e. you added your Nano Pro to this program by importing the file, as I did show in my first video, then what you do is just click on this tab, switch Rotary extension. Okay, and everything is now sorted. The system itself will recognize the settings and you almost done. What we need to do is to change the size of our work area. Normally it would be 100 millimeters by 100 millimeters. However, if you go just over here, device settings, click on that and change the height to 480. Okay, that will include basically items that are a little bit thicker. Okay, so that's the rotation, that's the length of the rotation of your engraving. The width stays as is, 100 millimeters. And over here, the settings I will be using to engrave this are 5000 millimeters per minute and 60% power. Right, almost forgot one thing that you need to do as well. On that button over here, switch Rotary extension, okay, right click that and you've got this pop-up menu, edit macro. All right, and the workpiece over here, you need to change the value to the diameter of your piece. So in my case it's actually 40 millimeters. Okay, so that value is in millimeters. And every single time, if you're going to be changing to different size material, you need to change that value here. For me, it's 40, so it's all right. So what we need to do now is actually frame this to make sure we're in the right position. And we've got the blue dot that will indicate to you exactly where the design will go. Well, not bad at all. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe as well. Now obviously this is made from cardboard, so a bit of a dust from it, but yeah, just a test trial and it seems to be quite successful without any mishaps. Okay, let's tackle another project. I've got this smaller dowel. It's made from, I believe it's ash. Okay, so it's nice and quite dense wood, and I've took these out as obviously this dowel is not thick enough, and I'm just going to use the original jaws that are on the machine and they should hold absolutely fine. Okay, there shouldn't be any issues. The back piece, we need to shift it over so it's actually supporting our dowel, just like so. Lock it back in place. grab yourself the spirit level, make sure everything is level. And as you change to a different thickness of material, make sure to change the focal point of your machine as well. So use that laser. If it's okay, leave it. If not, make sure the laser head is at the correct distance from your workpiece. And check out the results. I think this came out absolutely fabulous. No issues at all. Beautiful engraving. Actually quite deep to the touch, and this is hardwood as well. Beautiful, nice, clean engraving. Perfect, guys. Absolutely perfect. As you can see, setting up the rotary tool is actually fairly simple and it works flawlessly without any issues. Same with the software. I am using LightBurn, so it was really easy to get going, as the initial setup is actually on the SD card that comes with the kit, so there's not much you have to do. And the result, as you've seen, no issues at all. So really happy with this setup. However, now it's time for the second accessory, the slide extension. Let's put that together and install that with our machine. Right then, so let's put the slide extension. That is the main body, that's the bed that we need to attach to this. And first of all, there is a plate in this set that we need to put on top, just like so. And in total, you're gonna need 10 screws to attach everything. It could be a little bit fiddly, but just take your time with it and you should be fine. The screws you're gonna need for that are the M4x8. I'm just gonna grab this with one screw in the middle. It's just the easiest way to actually tackle this. The next thing we're going to be installing are these two rulers. They're going to go at the end of the base. For that, you're going to need 4 of these square-headed screws and some star knobs that come in the set. First of all, we're just going to assemble the rulers. And now we can install the rulers onto our base. Now make sure that the back of the ruler is flush with the back of the base. In the whole set as well, you do get some clamps to clamp down your workpiece so it doesn't move on you. Nice and simple to use, just like so. Very nice addition to the whole package. Okay, now we need to set up the machine versus the slide extension against themselves so they are in the right position. Now there is a right way of doing it and every single other way is the wrong one, okay? Trust me, I've done it. So as you can see, the L-shaped brackets just over here, they need to be in this position, okay? So one hole is free, and then the bracket where the front of the machine is just over here and the brackets are virtually just underneath, okay? That's how they need to be installed. And then you need to offer both to each other where the slide extension will be resting on those 2 brackets, okay? There we go. Also in this set you do get this cable management clip. I do suggest you actually use it now so the wires will not get tangled up as the machine operates. And you can put the wires on. And nothing will be now in the way. The next thing we need to establish is the initial position of the bed itself. So turn on the machine. Turn on the infrared laser for focusing, and I can see my 2 dots are just there. Hopefully you can see them. So what we need to make sure that those 2 dots are just on the border of the slide. So I'm just going to move the slide until I see the dots just on the edge, just over here. And that is the initial setup for the slide extension completed. Back in the software, we need to change a few things. First of all, in the device settings, make sure the height is at 300 millimeters. Okay, that's the maximum reach of our machine with the slide extension. And then to use the slide extension, go into the console tab and press the switch slide extension. Okay, and that's it. Simple as that. Right, so I've got my Minecraft logo here. The height of it is 140 millimeters. The settings 6000 millimeters per minute, 70% power. And what we're going to do now, I'm just going to press frame to make sure we're in the right place. Absolutely perfect. We're bob on the money. Now make sure that our focal point is correct, and I can see it's fine, so we can start engraving. And it's done. Check out the results. Came out absolutely fabulously, no issues at all. Everything's nice and sharp. The slide extension seems to be working absolutely brilliantly. Right, let's tackle a different type of project. Alright, check this out. I'm gonna make a 3D map of my hometown. So the bottom one, that's the part with the water. We just have some rivers, and we do have a nice park around the main city center. That's the local road. We're gonna engrave that, and that's the main road that goes through the town center. Okay, and we're gonna cut everything out. The engraving will go on top. Okay, so the blue lines, that's set up to line, so we're going to be cutting that out. 150 millimeters per minute, 100% power, whereas the black section, it's fill, 6000 millimeters per minute, 70% power. All right, I'm just going to frame it, making sure everything aligns correctly, and we're ready to make this project happen in one go. And there you go, guys, no issues whatsoever. We managed to utilize more or less the whole length that's available here with this slide, and as you can see, it works flawlessly. Right, I'm gonna move it away, and we're gonna put this together in a second, but before we do that, I just want to start another project. And check this out, okay? Normal flowers are cool, however, sometimes you may want to add something more interesting. How about a cutout flower with a background that will be cut out of felt? Tell you what, let's give it a go and see what we can achieve over here. As I want to cut it out, we need to change to line, and we're gonna go for 150 by 100 power. And check that out, beautiful flower, cut out as well, yellow felt, it's a little bit more orange I think, and 1mm thickness. So I'm going to cut out the inside of the flower, and I think that will give us a really nice look and design. As this is very lightweight, make sure to tape it down so it doesn't move on you. This time the settings will be 1000 millimeters per minute and 40% power. Went through the felt with no issues. Obviously you have to be careful with the settings not to go too high, as you know, it could be a flammable material, so yeah, just be careful as you do it. Check that out. Really nice. Alright then, so here is our map with 3 layers. Just like so. It goes together, absolutely brilliant. However, we need to add a bit of color. So these 2 lines, that's water, the rest is park. So I've got 2 colors prepare acrylic paints, blue and green. And there you go. I'm going to leave that for a few minutes for the paint to dry before we're actually going to start putting this together. But in the meantime, we can actually put the flower together. So check out this beautiful flower that goes over that. And look at that, it's absolutely beautiful. And you can tell that the felt is adding additional depth to it, and obviously to the touch. Absolutely brilliant combination, felt and cut out shapes from plywood. So now it's time to put this together, and you can use any glue. You can actually use wood glue. However, I found a normal CA glue works absolutely fine. Don't put too much. And now we can add the felt. Now to make sure it sticks correctly, just put something heavyish on top and just leave it for a few seconds. And there you go. How beautiful is that? Now you can use some sort of a sealer on it, for example spray varnish or anything like that, and it will be absolutely fine. But tell you what, that's a very cool idea for some amazing projects, combining plywood and felt. Now let's get back to our map. Again, same process, bit of CA glue, and we'll be fine. Okay, add a bit of pressure, leave it for a few seconds, and after that I'm gonna add the final layer to it in the same fashion. And there we go. Our mini 3D map is ready. I think it looks absolutely fabulous. Brilliant as a gift or maybe a memory from a place you visited. Obviously, at the back you can just engrave the exact location or a memory that you want to have for the future or maybe for your kids. Now, as you've seen, setting up the accessories for the Longer Nano Pro is definitely not complicated and it's not hard, and they both work flawlessly without any issues. And they add a lot of additional possibilities for some really cool projects. For example, if you want to start a very small business or maybe have some really cool presents for your family and your friends, like tumblers, well, you can quite easily engrave them with the Rotary attachment. As you can see, it does absolutely fantastic job with no issues at all. And obviously the sliding extension accessory, you know, it gives you far more spec, gives you far more opportunity to do even larger projects like this flower that's just over 20 centimeters long, and even layered projects like this in one go. Okay, you don't have to do just one at a time. You can make them in one go as one file and have them ready straight away with the sliding extension. So yes, initially you only got 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters as a base unit. However, if you add the slide extension, well, it changes the game a little bit. Same with the Rotary attachment. There's plenty of cool projects you can tackle with this kit. Now, as I said before, I do have a full testing video on the Longer itself, so you can go have a look at what settings I used for different type of materials and how it performed in general. I'm going to leave a link to that video in the description of this one. And if you're interested in buying this kit or actually just finding a little bit more about it, I'm going to have some links to the Longer website, and you know, you can check it out and see if it's something that you would be interested in. I hope you found this video informative and maybe a little bit inspirational with the projects you can tackle with your machine as well. Now, I do have some really cool playlists with other fantastic videos. Click on those and maybe you'll find your next video to watch. However, for today, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.